All right. Well, for you guys on Facebook, thank you for joining us. For you guys on Instagram, we will wait a little bit longer. I know that we are just getting online here. It's a little bit late. It's 5:57 p.m., March 11, 2019. For those of you guys watching the afterplay on YouTube, be sure and hit our subscribe button. We try to bring you a little motivation here from Pureline Nutrition every single day of the week. Usually it's actually just about 3 to 4 days out of the week because we just get a little bit too busy. But just in case, tune in with us, see if we're there. So guys, today is Motivation Monday, but before I forget, we are doing something really big tomorrow. Tomorrow is the release of Diva Secret for all you ladies out there who need a little something to reignite the passion and the flame in your love life. Diva Secret is essentially that product. It helps with several different things. Number one, it's great for your skin, your hair, and nails. Number two, it's great for libido. And number three, it's just overall a great hormone balance product for women who need to balance out their hormones a little bit, get a little bit more on track with everything. It's a great blend of vitamins. And you can find out more about it by going to the pureline.com/Diva Secret. It's a landing page you can go to and you can find out all the information you'd like to about that product. Again, that's the pureline.com/Diva Secret. So check that out, ladies. That will be available tomorrow online at any Pureline or at any Pureline Nutrition store location. So be sure and check that out. So you guys out there, can y'all hear me? How y'all doing? Is it nice where you're at? It is been a sunny day here in San Antonio. It's not too bad. So that is nice. Finally getting some decent weather. Weekend was beautiful, by the way, so that was really cool. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you can hear me. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, be sure and subscribe to our channel. Now, today's topic is about your comeback. It's about making your fitness comeback. And, a lot of times I've talked about how in your fitness journey, there will be times where you'll have a little bit of a lag time or a time off or a period where you're not working out. But this is about planning your fitness comeback, how to plan it, what you need to do to be successful at that, and to make sure that you get the most from your comeback. All of us have gone through little phases in life where we just don't work out for a while. Maybe we just take time off because of either an injury or we're tired or whatever, or maybe we just lost enthusiasm and motivation. We just don't want to go to the gym anymore. Completely understandable. What we have to realize is that there's a phase that we're going to snap. It's a phase that we're going to snap out of, and eventually we are going to come back to the gym and we're going to start working out again. We're going to start training again. We're going to start doing all that stuff. But how do you plan that so it's a successful comeback, so that you get really, really good results? And, I think number one, the most important thing is, you actually need to take time and schedule in your fitness journey. In other words, you need to schedule your workouts. Number one, you have to acknowledge that you have to make time for fitness. That's really what I'm trying to say, because I think a lot of us get really overwhelmed and, we say, oh, we're just too busy. We've got work, we've got kids, we've got all this stuff going on in our lives, and we just don't have time to get to the gym, which is really untrue. I mean, if you really think about it, there's 168 hours in a 7-day period. And to take 4 of those hours and dedicate them to your health, to your fitness, to your well-being is not a lot. It really isn't. And I'm not talking about serious training here. It's not about, going to the gym and, hitting it hard during these 4 hours. It could just be something as simple as walking, getting your cardiovascular system efficient again, whatever it is. But 4 hours is not a lot of time. So out of 168 hours, you simply have to figure out, how am I going to pull 4 hours out of that week and make that my time, my personal time that I'm going to train, I'm going to work out, I'm going to go for a walk, I'm going to run, I'm going to swim, I'm going to do something that will help myself. Everybody's busy. Everybody's got things in life, and there's certain things that we make priorities, and there's certain things that we minimize, that we say, you know what, this isn't that important, I can get to it later. In fact, a lot of the most important things we usually minimize, and then we essentially don't get to them until there's like a serious deadline and we have to do them. So the key is to not minimize your workouts, your fitness, your exercise. Make it a priority. Make it something that no matter what, you're going to do. And the key to that is preparation. Workouts require preparation. They require, number one, time allotment. You've got to figure out in the next day. When am I going to have time to work out? When am I going to have time to, fit my fitness into this? When am I going to have time to set aside an hour or an hour and a half to work out? So you've got to prepare for that. You've got to kind of arrange your schedule in a certain way that it will allow you to have a time period that you work out. And let me give you this piece of advice. Don't do something, or don't do it in a way that, it's at the end of the day. A lot of times planning for your workout at the end of the day is a way to ensure that you don't get it done, because usually by the end of the day we're tired, we don't really have much energy left, and to go to the gym and work out or get to the park and run or do whatever it is you do is going to be a lot easier to skip after a heavy day of work. So keep that in mind. Scheduling is pretty much key. Preparation is key. If you don't prepare both mentally and in your scheduling, then chances are you're not going to make that workout. So everybody has the same amount of time in life. You have 168 hours in a week. You've just got to make the time to get to the gym at least 4 hours a week. It's not a lot of time. Just figure it out, prepare, and schedule it in. Just make a little bit of time for that, and you'll be happy you did. You'll always feel better. For example, Saturday, was a busy day for me. It was my wife's birthday. We had a wedding to go to, and we had to be somewhere at 8 o'clock at night. So literally, from the time I got up, I was running errands, trying to get ready, and I made time. I made 45 minutes. I got on the treadmill. I did some cardio, and I felt great. For the rest of the day, I really felt good. It just makes a huge difference in the way you feel, makes a huge difference in your life from that point on. So you've got to make time, prepare. It's got to be a priority, okay? Number 2, in order to get, or how to plan your fitness comeback in a way, one of the other things that I think is extremely important is to create a sense of urgency, or cultivate a sense of urgency. We tend to not to do things. I talked about this a little bit earlier. We don't do things unless they're urgent. If you have an exam or a test, you don't study till 2 days before. If you have a deadline for taxes or something, a lot of us tend to do it, the week before or 3 days before. We never do stuff until there's urgency pushing us to do that. And it's the same thing with working out. You've got to create urgency by making it a priority. You've got to make sure that you have definitive dates and goals for things. You've got to either be involved in something that either was going to, maybe a competition or some kind of event that you're going to be in, if it's running, whatever, a marathon, but you've got to have definitive times and deadlines. If you don't, then there's a bigger chance that you're not going to meet that goal. You're not going to have enough urgency pushing you across that line. So whatever it is, and whatever kind of workout you're doing, create urgency by setting deadlines. Cultivate that, and you'll find that the multiple deadlines will get you further along the path to succeeding in your goals in fitness. For me personally, I usually use different times of the year to get ready for different things. So for example, if my birthday's in October, I'm going to, have an event planned in October, and I'm going to try to 8 weeks to 10 weeks before that start getting in really good shape. Same thing with spring, the same thing with winter. There's always a way to cultivate urgency. You just got to figure what it is for you, and then you've got to plan towards that goal so that you can really make your fitness comeback something that succeeds. Number 3, and I really like this one a lot, ask yourself what I call the fantasy question. And basically what the fantasy question is, if I could have anybody, if I could look any way in the world, if I could pick any of these guys off Instagram or any of these women off of Instagram, and money was not an option, and I had all the time in the world, what is it that I would like to look like? What would I want my body to look like? How would I want to look? Whose body would I want to be more in tune with as far as looks? If you can think about that, and you can really start to boil down what that ideal picture is in your head of who it is you're trying to look like and what you're trying to achieve, there's a greater chance, there's a greater probability that you're actually going to succeed, and you're going to move forward with your weight loss, your fitness, whatever journey it is you're on. You see, there's something powerful about being able to see what it is that you want to accomplish. And I think when you're planning a fitness or a major comeback, and you're saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to get back into the gym. I'm 40 years old, or I'm 50 years old, or heck, I'm young, but I just want to look the best in my life in 10 weeks. You've got to have a picture of whatever it is you want to achieve. If you don't have that picture, it's really a lot more challenging to reach a goal because you don't know what you're reaching for. There's no ideal vision or ideal idea of what it is you're trying to achieve. So even the most outrageous and outlandish fantasy of yourself is going to propel you and move you closer towards what you're trying to achieve than having no vision at all. So it's a really important concept, and I really, think it's probably the most, overlooked part of fitness is really creating an idea of what you want to look like and moving in that direction. And it kind of what it does is kind of like lubricates your psyche. It allows you to say, hey, you know what? I'm 40 or I'm 50 or I'm 60. And I don't know if you guys find yourself doing this, but you know what? I'm 43 and I'm always like, every year as I get older and older, I kind of go through and I Google, hey, who's 42, who's 43, who's 44, who's 45. I'm even looking at 50 and 60-year-olds. I'm like, dude, there's always ideals out there that you can continue to chase. There's guys and girls that are still looking great as they get older. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to look that way. I can still look that good. It's still possible. And a lot of us think, getting old is just getting old. But man, you can still look great. There's people out there in their 50s and 60s. In fact, I've had personal relationships with guys in their 50s and 60s who have gotten ready for shows, bodybuilding and physique shows and stuff like that. Even women, I've got friends who are 50 who are competing and that they look better now than they did when they were 21, 22. So what's possible is completely, beyond what you would think is possible. It just takes a matter of really doing the right things, really zoning in and doing what you need to do. So those are three things that I think are really important for how you can plan your fitness comeback. Now, the fourth one and the last one is you've got to find a partner. You've got to find an ideal partner. And this one's a little more challenging because everybody's at different levels in their journey. But if you can, find somebody who is got the same goal or desire that you have. If you find somebody with the same goal and desire, you can align yourselves together. You can work towards that goal. You can talk about different things you guys are doing and trying. You can work out together. You can set an end goal, an urgency at the end that you say, hey, we've got to look good by this date, for this trip or whatever. And also somebody who lifts you up when you're down, because a lot of times, when you're working out and you're starting to diet and all that stuff, it gets challenging. I mean, there's days where like, screw it, man. I just want a Whataburger and a shake and I want to go home and get in bed. And, you need somebody who can kind of say, hey, man, let's get to the gym. You'll feel better after you do it. And, we'll get through with this. So find somebody that you can work with who can push you and somebody who you can share those experiences with. It could even be your wife, your girlfriend, a woman that your partner, whatever. It doesn't have to be a dude that you go to the gym with. It's just somebody who you align yourself with and say, hey, we're going to set this goal together, we're going to do this together, and we're going to get in great shape together. So those are kind of the four things that I think about whenever I'm planning or whenever somebody is planning a fitness comeback, whether they're 20, 30, 40, they've had time off, they just haven't gotten into the gym in a while and they're just starting to go back in, and they're like, I need to do this. These are the four things. Number one, acknowledge you've got to make time and that you do have time to work out. It's not one of those things where, I don't have time to work out. Look, we've all got 168 hours in the day. In the week. We can take 4 of those hours out of the week and work out for 60 minutes 4 times a week. We all know it's possible. We set ourselves up to say, I'm just too busy. I've got work, I've got kids, I've got this. It's not true. You can do it. You've just got to figure it out. You've got to schedule it and prepare. Number 2, cultivate a sense of urgency. You've got to figure out a way to make your workouts urgent. You've got to figure out a way to make a goal at the end so that you're working urgently towards achieving that goal. So cultivating urgency is important. So you get in there and you do it, you train. Also ask yourself the fantasy question, who is it that I want to look like? Who can I strive to be like? Who can I strive to make my body like? Is there somebody out there that fits my ideal look, shape, everything? And number 4, find yourself a partner, somebody you can kind of engage with and you can say, hey man, let's do this together. Wife, guy, friend, just a partner that you can work with to get in shape and that helps you stay on track. So those are the 4 things that I really think are important in terms of planning your fitness comeback. Guys, if you haven't already, remember, we're doing a really cool launch on Tuesday, tomorrow, the 12th, March 12th. And if you're watching this on YouTube, we might have already launched. But if you go to the pureline.com/Diva Secret, that is a new formula that we're bringing out for females who are looking for a little increase in libido, who need to balance out hormones to kind of, help with the mood swings and keep cycles on path. And man, we've had some people use it, or some females, I should say, use it in the last couple of months that we've been testing it, and they've seen outrageous results. Great complexion, skin, hair, nail strength, all that stuff. So if you're a female, or you're married to somebody, or your partner is a female, by all means, check out the Diva Secret product. It's going to be a really cool launch, and we've got that going on tomorrow, 10 a.m. You can buy it online, or you can stop by one of our stores here in Texas. For all you other guys, I hope you guys are doing super well. And make sure, if you're watching this on YouTube, to subscribe to our channel. If you're watching me live right now on Facebook and Instagram, thank you, number one. Number two, share this with your friends and anybody who you think might get a little bit out of it. This was, again, Motivation Monday, so we do a little bit of motivating on Monday, try to get your mind right, get you ready for the fight. So hope you guys are doing awesome, and we will see you again tomorrow on Tuesday. If you have any questions, you can always shoot them over to us at info@thepureline.com, or give us a holler, 1-800-632-1402. All right, guys, hope you guys are doing well. We'll talk to y'all very soon. Have a great night. Take care.